Hey guys, it's BaayTa. So last week I brought you guys a quick comparison between the two devices. Initially the Nexus 4 had 4.40 and Nexus 5 has 442. This week I've already updated both to 442 and do a quick comparison for you guys and show as far as launching applications some of the main things on that. Let's check it out. Last week I showed you guys the little bit of just a quick comparison between 4.4.2 and at that time was 4.4.0 on the device here. And since then I've actually updated both devices, and I've also installed the updated version, the Google launch experience on the device itself. So you can see the transparency has been set on the top, on the bottom. It's not as strong as it is on the Nexus 5, but again it could also be the fact of the background color itself. Also the background is not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar as far as colors go. Overall, very nice, and I'm just going to do a quick speed comparison between the two. Both running stock, they're both rooted as far as, well, take that back. This one's rooted, this isn't, but that doesn't affect the performance. So we'll just do a quick swipe to the left, swipe to the right. We'll say, okay, Google. Within a second from each other. Try it again. Okay, Google. Again, not that far back behind it. Go ahead and go ahead and launch the App Store. They both connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay. And that could also just be a placebo effect as I'm running, and we'll go ahead and launch the browser. 1, 2, 3. Just about the same. I want to say, if anything, maybe like a split hair second between them here and here. Launching the camera. 1, 2, 3. Just about. Surprisingly, the Nexus 4 actually did get lock with the, if you notice, on the green side, but where the Nexus 5 did not. And it's essentially because the camera's sitting on the table, so there's no real chance for it to run. We'll go ahead and do the launcher. Very fast. They're both running the same launcher, so overall, same performance on both. If you have a Nexus 4 and you already install all of these customizations, you're not going to really be disappointed. It runs very, 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 very fast. Last but not least, I figured we'll go ahead and do a quick comparison as far as gaming. Asphalt 7 here. We'll see how long it takes to get to the home screen. If you guys noticed, the Nexus 4 kind of had a little bit of a heads up there, and it launched the screen. Nexus 5 surprisingly running a little bit behind, but it did skip through this page faster, and it's at the next screen ahead of the Nexus 4. And they're back on the same page. Actually, Nexus 4 is done. It says tap to start. So we get them both at the same time. So now, just for point of reference, the Nexus 5 is on top, the Nexus 4 is at the bottom. And we'll go ahead and hit, see how long it takes. Nexus 5 does a little bit ahead and takes us in to ask us to be able to do that. And then overall, the gameplay, as far as the game, we'll just go ahead and run the game. We'll do a quick play here. Let's say select. And then I'll just say race. Okay, so the game's starting right here. The Nexus 5 is still loading, obviously, because I started it later. And I'm just going to pause it this way so that we're able to play. We'll skip. Overall, very nice. Okay, not that good when I'm playing it on the game here. And then we'll go home, and then we'll go back to the Nexus 5, just the same thing. We'll skip. The volume is slightly higher. Okay, maybe because I'm playing it a second time. No, I still got my thing. Okay. And here we are. Definitely much better now that I'm playing it again. Overall, very nice. Both of them run the game very smoothly. There is no clipping. There's no any kind of breakdown in any kind of performance. I like the launchers themselves. Essentially, like I said, we're running the same launcher on both devices. So I'm going to get in closer here so I can use my fingers. They both swipe in, swipe out. They both do the Google Home from the bottom. Same thing. They both respond to OK Google, OK Google. Just again, a very, very minor second. You wouldn't even notice it if they weren't next to each other. If you guys remember from last week when I did the other video, the Nexus 5 actually was responding at the exact same time. Okay, so overall, from what I noticed, essentially, really, it's almost barely noticeable as far as the performance difference. Now, yes, when we ran into the game and we launched the application itself as far as running the game, from the point of going from the main menu to launching the game, the Nexus 5 does go a little bit faster. Now, keep in mind, I'm not running, Art on both of those. I'm only running basically just Dalvik. So this is what both would be able to come out straight out the box. Now, Art's supposed to increase things a little bit, but that's just partial. The main thing you want to keep in mind is I noticed when I was doing on the Nexus 4 running 440 and Nexus 5 442, they were launching Google Now at the same time when I say OK Google. But for some reason, when I switched over to 442 on the Nexus 4, that there was like a slight delay in performance, but again, you wouldn't have noticed it unless they were sitting next to each other because the response is so quick. Launching applications, browser, music, Google Play Store and all of those things, overall launch about the same time. The launcher works the same way. The transparency concern that I had last week with the with the Nexus 4 really was just a background and a customization. So the moment I did the update again, it went fine. Overall, very nice. If you have the Nexus 4 and you just got 442, realistically, I don't see a reason why you'd want to go for the Nexus 5. Again, outside of just the Snapdragon 800, and we're talking, just the iOS on the camera. But again, the camera's kind of a hit and miss a little bit with the Nexus 5. So you're not exactly making leaps and bounds going from the 4 to the 5. We're just for the camera. I think if you're comfortable with it and you're happy, definitely keep that in mind. Now, there is one thing, of course, that goes without the question here is the longevity of updates. The Nexus 5 will definitely get more updates in the long run, but not right now. So maybe in the near future, when next year, in the middle of when Android 4.5 or any additional versions of Android come out, you'll notice that the Nexus 5 will probably get it faster and the Nexus 4 will be slightly behind. But as you guys know, we have XDA, and XDA pretty much gets you things faster than anybody, even faster than Google sometimes on older devices. So just keep that in mind. Very nice. I like both devices. I want to say thanks to Jillian from Chasing Raspberries for letting me borrow her Nexus 4 for a performance comparison. And then, again, thank you very much. Other than that, like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think as far as these videos. I'm trying a new audio setup here with the lav mic. Hopefully it'll stay consistent throughout the whole video. We won't have that problem anymore with the whole changing pitch and things. So I'll talk to you guys and I'll see you soon.